Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy G Waters, aka Ghostman FPV, back in with another video. And today I want to basically talk about the whole O4 U.F.L. connector debacle that's been kind of going on. So I'm guessing that people are having issues with the U.F.L. connector separating from the board on the O4 air unit. I haven't personally had that problem, and I want to kind of share with you guys why I don't think I had the problem. Not to say that there's no problem and I'm doing something great. It's just that, I've heard people had them fall off and everything, and so far I've crashed my quads and everything, and I haven't had that happen yet. So, and I don't know if maybe I got one of the good batches or something, but yeah, I don't know. So far I've crashed my Chimera. This is my Chimera 7. I've actually crashed this one once since having the O4 on it. For some reason I was testing out my GPS, and I don't know what happened, but for some reason the video froze. I was flying at a park where it's actually a FRIA, so a lot of people fly there recreationally, so I'm thinking maybe somebody near me just plugged in on me because I didn't have a problem with it blanking out after that. But for whatever reason my video kind of froze up for a couple seconds, and for whatever reason I panicked and just disarmed, and rather than just hitting I'm thinking maybe it's because I'm no longer using my TX16, as some of you probably know if you've been watching my videos. I've been actually using my GX12. So my thoughts are that maybe I'm just not used to that radio, so I didn't think to flick the GPS rescue, so I didn't do that. I instead just disarmed, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But anyway, just wanted to kind of address that issue. So about the U.F.Ls coming off. So I don't know. So let's see. Okay, so, and I hope you guys can see this because I'm just like, I don't know, my camera's a little janky. I probably need to upgrade my camera system. But anyway, I'm just going to take this upper plate off so we can see inside right here. And if you can tell, and maybe I'll get the side plates off also. Now I'm not going to dig too far into this. I'm just trying to make this a short video, so this is not going to be a whole thing. And anybody that has iFlight quads, you know the struggle here with the and try to focus that a little better. And you guys know the struggle if you have an iFlight quad. It's always a kind of an issue just taking everything apart and all of that. It's just always a struggle. But anyway, the reason I think I don't have the problem is because if you notice, I have U.F.L. to SMA extensions, and I pretty much do this with all of my quads. So, and I've never had an issue with any VTX U.F.L. breaking off. Not so far. So, and I think basically it's pretty simple. I mean, what I think is that I never have tension on those U.F.Ls, and I'm not saying that I knew anything before anyone else about the O4, but what I'm saying is that this is what I do, and I think that's what's been saving me, because other VTX had this issue as well. This is not novel to the O4. I hear that some of the Walksnail, I think it may have been the 1S VTX, had this issue, and people had to solder it, make it stronger or whatever, because that's what people have been doing. That's been one of the suggestions, would be to open up your O4 and solder those UFLs in better, because for whatever reason they seem to, when they soldered them on there, they floated on top of the solder and it just didn't make a great connection. So I think that's the overall consensus on what's happening with that. Now I've seen some people open theirs up and it was a solder that looked like it was pretty solid and everything, but others didn't have that. Now I'm not sure if mine, because when I installed this, I didn't know that was a problem and I didn't look at it. I will not take it apart again and look at it and find out. So that's not happening right now. I'm just letting you guys know what I did and what I think can help, because I'm thinking when someone crashes and they have the stock antenna on there, and what I'm thinking is, and it makes perfect sense to me, but what I'm thinking is they'll have the stock antenna on, and then when they crash, there's nothing really stopping you from yanking on this wire here. And if that antenna decides it wants to come off or part ways from the quad, there's nothing stopping it from just snatching that whole UFL connector out. So I'm thinking that's the issue. So when I crashed, and like I said, I did crash this one pretty bad. It was actually the first time and only time I've ever crashed it. And I didn't have an issue, so it's fine. But I honestly think, and like I said, I did not do this for this reason specifically. But this is just the way I install all of my antennas on all of my quads. And that's only because I know of that being an issue. And I've always thought it could be an issue with that, with that splitting off. So I've always done it this way, just pretty much for that reason. And then also, the SMA connectors are very easy to just replace. If I break an antenna or something, I can just unscrew that and replace it. And I just thought that made a lot more sense than having to open up your VTX, remove it from the frame, and it's just a whole mess that I think is unnecessary. So I've always done this little SMA, to UFL adapter solution. Like if you notice, like this is my apex. If you can, I don't know if you can see it. I have everything all super, close up. But this is my apex, and same thing. So that's pretty much the way I do it. And so far I haven't had that rip off at all. Not saying that it can't happen, but it hasn't happened. So that's the only thing that I can say, because the way I see it, the SMA connector is a lot sturdier and it's less likely to detach or break, or whereas if you have just the stock antenna and the only thing you have maybe holding that antenna on there is maybe you at best you zip tie it so that it'll kind of stay secure. So maybe you zip tied the shaft part here or whatever in some TPU mount, and then it'll still, you crash hard enough, this will still want to pull out. It's possible. It's highly possible, actually. So I'm thinking that's what people are doing, and they're just snatching them out because of that. But I think if you install antennas this way, then you're much less likely to have that as a problem. Now, from what I saw, DJI definitely needs to get with quality control, and they definitely need to fix that situation. That's not something that I'm just gonna blame on the customer, because it shouldn't be that way. If I'm being honest, it shouldn't be that way. But since it is, and if and when a fix happens for it, where I guess the only fix from DJI would be for you to return it, and they give you one that's better soldered on there. That's the only fix. So if and when that ever happens, that's great. But if it doesn't happen, we're kind of stuck with you know, maybe a 50-50 chance of you getting one that's not soldered well or whatever. But I suggest, if you can, to install your antennas this way. And obviously I don't have stock DJI antennas. So you may have to obviously buy antennas that are pretty cheap, just so you can do the SMA, you know, the SMA conversion on it. And I think that's just better. And I mean, it's better for me. It's a better all around antenna because it's just easier to replace them. And it's easier to, you know, and it doesn't give you that tension on the UFL connector. And I only see upsides with it. I've never had an issue with them. And to be honest, since I've been doing this, I haven't ever broken an antenna. So it's never broken off from there or anything, you know. And I understand that a lot of quads, you have to obviously have a mount for it. I can 3D print whatever I need. So, you know, I guess I'm in a privileged position in that sense. But you know, if you look around, you can always find mounts for these things. If you're willing to have them shipped, and Etsy or a lot of different people will have these things if you look for them, if you can't print them. But I generally print my own things. I'll design my own and print it, whatever I need. So, you know, I guess yay for me. But, you know, but that's my thoughts on it. And I think that you know, the other people should actually consider, even if you don't have the O4, you have an O3, or if you even have a Vista at this point, you know, I think it still uses the same, you know, UFL. So if you ask me, it's just better to use this extension so that there's literally zero tension on that UFL connector there. And that way you don't have that issue of should you crash. There's no tension on it whatsoever, so it shouldn't happen, hopefully. So, and yeah, I'll say this, and tomorrow I'll go out and fly and I'll break that. But so far, that hasn't happened. So hopefully it doesn't, and you know, hopefully that helps you guys. Maybe you'll do the same and have the same results I have. And you know, we'll see if DJI actually corrects that issue, or if they even address it. They haven't, on certain things, been so quick to, you know, to take responsibility for some things. So, but what DJI tends to do is they'll take the criticisms, they'll act like nothing's wrong, and they'll just quietly fix it, and then nobody complains anymore, all forgotten. So that's generally what happens. But whatever, you know. However, if they fix it, great. They don't have to make a production of it. Just fix it, DJI. You know, don't come on now. You guys are big company. That's a small thing to deal with. You know, just make sure that's secure. I mean, we're spending $230 on these things and multiple quads, and I know I've mentioned before, I don't know, 12 to 15 quads. So, and generally I run the same units on all of them, but just for ease of maintenance, you know. So anyway, just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention, and maybe that'll help a couple people. And let me know in the comments what you think. What are you doing? Are you doing anything different? Or, you know, are you actually going in there soldering the joints and making sure it's definitely working, which I'm pretty sure will avoid the warranty. But anyway, at least this way you won't void your warranty, and hopefully, you know, even if it breaks. So we'll see how that goes. But in any case, just a short one today. Hope this helped you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know what's up in the comments. Anyway, peace.